Alright, I know what a lot of you are gonna say. But Zach, there hasn't been a new Mario Kart game in 8-9 years. Why are you talking about other games that need to come to the Switch before Mario Kart? Listen, Mario Kart is amazing. I love Mario Kart. Mario Kart's a really fun time. I would love a new Mario Kart. But let's be honest, there are a lot of franchises or series that haven't made their way onto the Nintendo Switch yet that I think deserve to be on here more than a new Mario Kart at the moment. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a very good game. Yes, you know, people are tired of it, people want a new one, but that doesn't deny the fact that the game itself is really good. So personally, I don't think there needs to be a new Mario Kart right now. You know, like I said, I would love a new one, but there's just no need. I would personally rather see other franchises brought to the Nintendo Switch. So to prove that point, today I'm going to talk about 10 franchises or 10 series that aren't on the Nintendo Switch, but I think really should be. And all of these games I think should come out before a new Mario Kart. So strap on in, guys. We're in for a really wild ride to go through many different series, some of which I actually haven't even played, to be honest, but they are still important to bring up. Without any further ado, let's get started. The first series I want to bring up is Mario Baseball. Mario Baseball is such a good series. It offers the most diverse Mario roster in any game, and it's a game based on America's pastime, baseball. Bandai Namco always usually develops these games, and they are such a good time. They are a lot of fun. There's not really much to say about Mario Baseball because it's very self-explanatory. It's Mario and friends going out and playing baseball, but honestly, the fact that they haven't done anything with this on the Switch yet, I don't want to say it's surprising because it's not like a big, like, oh my god, we need to have this series on the Switch, but it's still a really fun series that a lot of people look back on fondly and is a lot of people's favorite Mario sports series. And it makes sense, the series is so much fun. It's probably my favorite Mario sports game from the Nintendo GameCube. So hopefully sometime soon we hear about a new Mario Baseball game coming out. I would truly love to see one come out sometime soon. Next we're going to do a barrel roll and go into the next series, which is Star Fox. We got Star Fox Zero back on the Wii U, but other than that, we haven't really had many solid Star Fox entries in a long time. And because of the fact that Star Fox Zero got received pretty negatively by Nintendo fans, I think it just boosts the need for a really good Star Fox game to come out on the Switch. I don't think we need a Wii U port of Zero just fixing the controls. I just think Star Fox needs a fresh game, a new, fresh game in the format of 64, but not having any of the issues that Star Fox Zero had. And this one, I will say, is surprising that we haven't got yet because it's Star Fox. It's one of Nintendo's head series. Maybe not as big as Mario or Legend of Zelda, but it's one of Nintendo's babies. And more especially, it's one of Miyamoto's babies. A series that Miyamoto always loves showing off, as I believe he's the one that announced Star Fox Zero in the first place. So I do think a new Star Fox game is something we need, even though we have the first two games in the Super Nintendo Online service. Next up, we're gonna Falcon Punch our way into the next game, which is FZero. Listen, I know FZero is a game series that is long dead. It is a series that Nintendo seems to have no interest in bringing back. We're not gonna get a new FZero game. It's become a joke in the Nintendo community, but still, I still want to see this game. Maybe it would subvert people from wanting a Mario Kart 9 at this moment if they released a really good F-Zero game. It's a really fun racing game, very fast-paced action. I always sucked at the F-Zero games. I mean, I'm pretty good at Mario Kart, but I suck at F-Zero just because of how fast the gameplay is. But some people like that really fast gameplay, and I think it is a much-needed addition for the Switch. In fact, there was a game that came out like in the very beginning of the Switch's lifespan. I forget the name of it, but it was like a $5 eShop game that was a F-Zero clone, basically. And I remember people talking very highly of it. I actually even got it, and I quite enjoyed it as well. But yeah, having F-Zero on the Nintendo Switch, I think, is more important than having a Mario Kart on the Switch at the moment. Next, we're gonna shoot for the goal in this next game, Mario Strikers, the other Mario sports game absent from the Nintendo Switch at the moment. I personally don't think Mario Strikers is going to happen, personally, at least in the style that the older Mario Strikers games were in the first place. I believe that was the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of, you know, more uniquely designed Mario games. But it is still worth bringing up because it is another really popular Mario sports game, and this is also a Mario sports game that people call their favorite, and it's obvious why. It's got such a unique charm. It's not just a bland, generic soccer game like they had in Mario Sports Superstars. But it's a unique, badass themed soccer game that gives the Mario characters a different life, a different personality, different traits. Waluigi doing the thrust is not something I thought I needed in my life, but it is.
Waluigi, yeah!
Either way, Mario Striker's such a fun time. I wish they would bring that to the Nintendo Switch. Come on, please Nintendo, please. Next up, the game series that people never want to stop asking Reggie about, the Mother series. Alright, I'm not much of an RPG guy. I don't really keep up with the Mother series or what Earthbound is. I played Earthbound a little bit actually, but I never, really dived deep into it. But obviously the series is popular enough for people to want Mother 3 to be localized for the North American audience, or I guess just the English-speaking audience in general. And it's popular enough for me to put it on this list, because we actually have no Mother games, not even in the retro online gaming sphere on the Nintendo Switch, which is honestly really crazy. I don't get why. Earthbound is a super popular game. People like Mother 1, everyone wants Mother 3. It's just a really weird series that I feel like deserves to get some representation on the Switch, whether it's just Earthbound being put on the Super Nintendo Online app, or a trilogy collection, or a localization of 3, or something. That, honestly, at this point, after all these years, does deserve to happen. Hopefully it does. Next up, everyone gather your happiness points. I believe that's what they were called, if I'm not mistaken. I should know this because I absolutely love this franchise, and that is the Chibi Robo franchise. They really messed up with Chibi Robo Ziplash, threatening people saying, oh, if you don't buy this game, there won't be any more Chibi Robo games, and then released a Chibi Robo game that is not a Chibi Robo game. Like, imagine if Nintendo came out and said, oh, well, there's not going to be any more Pikmin games unless you all buy Hey Pikmin. You see the dilemma here? But the actual Chibi Robo games, the real Chibi Robo games, are so much fun. They got so much charm, they got humor. They almost kind of remind me of rare titles like Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day in the style of their writing and animations. They are just such fun games, and they need to come to the Switch. If there is not at least one Chibi Robo game, whether it's a new game, or the GameCube game, or even the DS game, if there isn't a new one, I'm going to be so upset. I love those games. They are so good. Nintendo, bring them over. Okay, this one's technically cheating because it's been announced, but it isn't out yet. It might not be out for a while, so I'm going to put it here, and that is Metroid Prime, and specifically, obviously, Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 has got to have been one of the most hyped announcements back in 2017, and is definitely one of the most anticipated Nintendo Switch games. I'd even say above Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. At least because of that, we know generally the time window. We've seen gameplay, we've seen trailers. For Metroid Prime 4, we have nothing. We got an announcement nearly 5 years ago, and if there's a new Mario Kart out, before we even see anything of Metroid Prime 4, that is a tragedy. Because Metroid Prime 4, like I said, got announced 5 years ago, just after the Mario Kart game came out on the Switch, and just after the Switch itself came out. So either way, Metroid Prime, obviously we did just get Metroid Dread, which is kind of a completely different beast than the Metroid Prime series, just because, one's 2D, one's 3D, they're kind of different styles, even though they're obviously Metroid. But nonetheless, Metroid Prime is a series that I do want. I mean, obviously, it's been announced, it's going to come out, but I want it to come out soon, and before a new Mario Kart. Okay, these last 3 are going to be super obscure. I mean, Mother was pretty obscure, but these 3 I think are even more obscure. So let's wow our way in to Wario Land. Wario Land was an amazing set of 2D platformers, starring the jolly yellow giant. I shouldn't really call him jolly, more like smelly, garlicky, you know what I mean. And they are such fun, inventive 2D platformers. And I know this isn't a series, but I'm going to throw this game in here. Wario World, an amazing 3D platforming, beat-em-up style game with amazing music, by the way. The soundtrack of Wario World is god tier. But nonetheless, any Wario game, obviously we have WarioWare, but Wario Land or Wario World, I would love to see those come now. I mean, before I was always hyping up WarioWare, wanting WarioWare, but now that we have a good WarioWare out on the Switch, I want Wario Land now and Wario World, or something of that equivalent. Nintendo, please do it. Alright, next up, let's KO. Well, okay, that one doesn't make sense. But either way, let's talk about Punch-Out! Punch-Out! Is a very obscure franchise from Nintendo. Obviously, back on the NES, it was a big deal, but then it came out in 2010, actually developed by Next Level Games. I think it was 2010. Don't quote me on that. It might be earlier. I don't know. 2009, somewhere around there. Developed by Next Level Games, aka the people behind the Luigi's Mansion franchise nowadays. And while I probably would not care much for this game, it's definitely got its own charm with having a really cool art style and with how you can probably use the Joy-Cons in this kind of fighting game, this boxing game. I think it would be really, really cool. Even if they marketed it as a fitness game. Marketed it, you know, it sounds weird, but you know what I mean. Having a fitness style boxing game, you know, that's branded under Punch-Out, starring Little Mac, with maybe some cameos from like Donkey Kong, like there was back on the Wii Punch-Out. I don't know. I think they could do a decent amount with Punch-Out, and the fact that we haven't seen anything is kind of a shame. It's a little bit of an underrated series. Lastly, but surely not least, let's soar through the skies and spread our wings with Kid Icarus. Now, I'll be honest. My knowledge of this franchise is very minimal. I know there is an entry on the NES, and I know there's an entry on the 3DS. That's basically the extent of my knowledge of Kid Icarus. But I do know that that 3DS entry in particular was very popular. A lot of people really, really liked it. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't that also directed by Sakurai? Wasn't that a Sakurai-esque project? Now, I'm saying Sakurai should take a break after all that Smash Brothers stuff, because after all that, I would want a break too. But I do think that we should get something Kid Icarus related sometime in the future. I don't know, bring him back, modernize him, do something. I mean, we have his characters in Smash. We have Pit and Dark Pit and Palutena. Having those characters in Smash, but not having the game that represents them, or at least a game that represents them, it's kind of a shame. Do it. Well, actually, Kid Icarus might be on the Nintendo Switch NES Online app, but that's still not representing what Kid Icarus is now. So, do it. Alright, you guys, so those are 10 games I would like to see come to the Nintendo Switch before we even get a new Mario Kart, because there are so many great Nintendo games out there. There are so many games that haven't gotten any representation on the Switch yet that I think should before we get another Mario Kart game. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Definitely leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, hit that notification bell so that you're notified of when I upload videos. Check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak merch up on there for you to check out. And yeah, so until next time, guys, I'll see you all in the next video.